Well, I've done it for Arrow and I've done it for Legends, so now it's time for my personal favourite episodes from The Flash. The Flash, with maybe slightly in towards Legends as well, is probably my favourite of the Arrowverse shows, which I enjoy all of them, but I think The Flash is the one that really kind of tailors to my taste. Kind of action packed, kind of heartfelt, and not entirely adventure. It also has some kind of domestic issues, and it's a fun show. So, my personal favourite episodes from each series. Once again, I've tried to kind of avoid crossovers if I can. And anyway, here we go. The first one is from Season 1, Episode 22, Rogue Air. I've already talked about this episode kind of before in other videos, so I'll just keep it brief. The main body of it, in which the team kind of recruit Captain Cold and his sister in order to help them move some of the metahumans that they've collected over time. That's fair enough, and that is a good story. And I do think that Wentworth Miller and kind of Grant Gustin have good kind of chemistry when they're on screen together. But yeah, while I do think it's kind of a good part of the episode, the main reason that I love this episode so much is pretty much the last 10 minutes. Because during the last 10 minutes, for those who don't know, it's kind of Grant Gustin's Flash, Stephen Amell's Arrow, and uh, Robbie Amell as kind of Firestorm, teaming up together to take down Tom Cavanagh as the Reverse Flash. And it's one of those moments where you're in a child just screaming, and screaming with delight, and it really makes the episode. The final fight scene is just a spectacle to behold, and it does make the episode. But anyway, for season 2, before I can say my favourite episode from season 2, there is one that I do think I will give an honourable mention to, and that was episode 21, The Runaway Dinosaur, which I do feel is kind of a nice episode. Kind of showing Barry having gotten lost in the Speed Force and trying to get his speed back, and his friends they think he's dead at first, but then trying to get him out of there when they find out he's not. Which I do think and it does have it does show the kind of connection that Barry and Iris have, which I do think is kind of rather touching. It's a very nice episode. But anyway, my personal favourite from season 2 was episode 23, The Race of His Life. I mean, even if it's just to see Zoom having seen Zoom practically ruin Barry's life, just fight him so often, take his speed, and then later on kill his father. That just, Zoom was brutal. I mean, I know later on Savitar was probably a little more messed up, but Zoom to me was just brutal. And this episode, I think for me, is kind of brilliant for me because it shows him getting what he deserves. I'm kind of a guy with TV shows. I like kind of optimistic endings of, the bad guy's going to be defeated, and honestly, the way he is defeated, it is kind of quite chilling. And the final race between the two, I admit, is kind of probably the highlight of the episode, and it's a good one. Anyway, from season 3, I had 2 choices. My original choice, for my favourite season 3, was episode 22, Infantino Street, which is another episode where Wentworth Miller as Captain Cold shows up, in which Barry travels back in time to recruit him for a mission in order to steal an alien power cell from Argus. Which, and once again, on screen, the two do work well off each other, and do provide some legitimately funny moments and some legitimately tense scenes. So I do think it's a fairly good one, and pretty much a lot of my choices on this list, pretty much 3 out of the 4 of them in some way involve Wentworth Miller, which I do think he's a good actor. The other choice that I had from my personal favourite from season 3, which I didn't really remember until recently, and then I really liked it, was season 3, episode 19, The Once and Future Flash. Like with Rogue Air, there's one scene in this episode that to me really hits it for me. And that's in the far future, kind of after the death of Iris, the team's kind of broken up, scattered, the events have played out, and they've all gone their own separate ways, with Jodie being depressed, HR becoming a famous writer, Julian taking care of Caitlin at prison, and Barry just bringing them all together and saying, look, I'm sorry about what's going to happen in the future, but you know what, we need to stick together and we need to do this right now. That, like Rogaire, that one moment for me is just, that's heartwarming, and I love that episode. So yeah, I had two favourite choices for season 3, one of them being the Once and Future Flash, and the other one being Infantino Street. I think they're both great episodes, and I love them for it. And now, with season 4 recently having ended, I can go do my personal favourites from those as well. The first one, episode 19, once again, another Wentworth Miller episode, Fury Rogue. I mean, once again, this is just a ton of fun. It kind of references back to the kind of big crossover episode they had done earlier that year, Crisis on Earth X, and so they travel over to Earth X to recruit Leo Snart, also known as Citizen Cold, in order to kind of help him with moving another metahuman, which kind of is pretty fun to watch. And once again, the two of them do work well off each other, and this version of kind of Leonard Snart does actually give Barry some pretty good advice of, yeah, don't kind of bottle up your emotions, let them out, mourn all your losses, and then you'll be stronger. And you know what? That's a good one. And once again, he does provide some funny scenes. This is supposedly the last time that Wentworth Miller was going to play Captain Cold, and I do think we will miss him. If he shows up again later on, that would be nice, but if not, he went out on a good one. And once again, kind of mirroring season 2, my other personal favourite is the final episode, episode 23, We Are the Flash. Once again, just seeing DeVoe kind of be defeated by the team, kind of Barry going inside his head, managing to save Ralph, spoilers, I'm sorry, and just the entire team working to stop him, and then eventually doing so, it's just a joy to behold. And it even ends with kind of the birth of a new member of Team Flash, which is kind of great to see. And while I admit it's not quite as big a cliffhanger as kind of some of the other series, it does end on quite an interesting one. One that will be kind of interesting to see how they figure it out. What's Nora's big mistake? What has she done that needs to be sorted out? So yeah, it gives us some good roads ahead, but also kind of gives us the big climactic thing that we were looking for. So you know what? Yeah. So those are my personal favourite episodes from The Flash so far. What will the future hold? Well, with super speed, we'll just have to find out. See ya.